Hello and welcome to the Find the Lie and Fix the Problem, a tool for emotional healing, the workbook. And my name is Marcus Parker, and I am going to talk with you about the workbook today. This is the online tutorial, and if you have your books in front of you, go ahead and take them out. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open them up. And we're going to go over to where it says this workbook belongs to. And I want you to write your name in right there. Okay. Now that we've done that, I want you to open up. It says, stay driven and never give up your dreams. This is a quote of mine. And we are over to the table of contents. Okay. So if we go down the table of contents, these are the topics that we'll be discussing, and learning to be yourself, battling negativity, goal setting, following through, rising above your circumstances, never give up, true education, time management, never say I can't, emotional intelligence, finding your lie, fixing your problem, the steps to fixing your emotions, a few vocabulary terms, and there's a little exercise right here. It says, how do you see yourself now? Where you actually can draw in how you feel like you see yourself currently. And then the next is, how do you see yourself in the future? And this one basically goes into you drawing a picture of how you would like to see yourself. Now, next is set goals. What you're going to do there is you're going to write down the goals that you have, and we're going to take daily tasks, weekly and monthly, until you accomplish those goals. What this workbook is all about is goal setting, taking growth and accomplishing your goals. So we're going to start off here at the introduction. The introduction. So welcome to the workshop. The purpose of this workshop is to teach students valuable life skills and the ability to identify and manage their emotions. Before writing this workbook, I had been trying to develop a curriculum which covered the full spectrum of instructions on how to motivate students while teaching them how to get over emotional roadblocks for a very long time. Finally, my work has borne fruit. This workbook can be done in private or as a class, and the curriculum covers such lessons as learning to be yourself, battling negativity, goal setting, following through, rising above your circumstances, never giving up, true education, time management, never say I can't, emotional intelligence, finding your lie, and fixing your problem. Before you begin, I ask you to be open-minded and willing to make any changes necessary to accomplish your goals and learn to manage your emotional triggers at the same time. All right. So we're moving right along here. Learning to be yourself. As we start to think about who we are, we need to be mindful that it is not about other people. The biggest mistake we can make when trying to be ourselves is looking at the other people's lives to determine what we need. It is not a bad thing to observe other people in your journey, but it is important that you not compare yourself to others, as this can cause problems. Comparing yourself simply gives you a false sense of your own progress. You never know where others started their journey or what type of help they had along the way. So stay focused on yourself and the things that will elevate you to accomplish your goals. We're going to go here with review questions. Starting, what does it mean to be yourself? Right there, I want you to just write in however you feel about what does it mean to you to be yourself. You can pause right here. Now, second question. Can you ever remember a time when you were not being yourself? Right here, you just want to write in. Do you ever remember a time of not quite feeling like you were acting in a way that represented who you want to be? And you just write it right there. Remember, anytime in this lesson, you can pause as we go through. Battling negativity. Negativity can come in many different forms. It can come in form of words from a friend or a family member, or as a negative action from someone. Try your best to always have a positive attitude. A positive attitude will help you better deal with the inevitable negativity from time to time. You can practice having a positive thoughts by trying to find the lesson in every situation. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to suggest that you should walk around faking a smile all day. I am saying that you can practice by looking at every situation in two ways. If it is something you consider positive, then it is a good thing. But if it is something you consider negative, try to find what you learned in that situation. It is not about winning and losing. It is actually about winning and learning. Remember, we can't control the negativity that comes our way, but we can control the way we react to it. Review questions. Can you give an example of a time when you battled negativity? Okay, go ahead and write in what you feel right there, and you can pause at any time. So what are the ways, question 2, what are the ways you could start practicing being more positive in your daily thoughts? Page 4, goal setting. Goal setting is the art of establishing a set goal or result and working towards accomplishing it. If you have a goal to achieve something, you can start by establishing a to-do list, which provides a roadmap to your goals. Try your best to set short-term and long-term goals. A short-term goal may be something like saving money for a month. A long-term goal may be something like finishing college in 4 years. These are just examples, but you can start now, setting goals and watching your dreams become reality. Review questions. Number 1, what does goal setting mean to you? Number 2, what goals would you like to accomplish in your life? Following through. It is always good to set goals and keep an active to-do list. These things will help you to stay focused and to be more resourceful with your time. Following through on your goals is similar to making sure that you have to take the first step moving toward and continue to be consistent with your progress. Lots of times we want to do something but never take the first step towards making that thing happen. There's a mistake right there I saw in that second or third line. But anyway, review question. Have you ever set a goal but didn't follow through with the steps to get it done? Number 2, how will you give yourself reminders in the future to follow through on your goals? Rising above your circumstances. When you hear the phrase rise above your circumstances, it can mean different things to different people. This is because everyone has a different set of problems which they need to overcome. Therefore, it is very important to focus on your own life instead of spending time watching other people's lives. Everyone is dealing with different circumstances at different times in their lives. Can you ever recall a time you had to get out of a bad situation or circumstance? Why is it not good to compare your circumstance or situation to others? Page 7, never give up. Although it is easier said than done, it is important that we never give up our goals. Our determination will be tested every time there is a bump in the road of our lives. Most of the time, these roadblocks are emotional in nature, but sometimes these roadblocks can have physical limitations. As a person who lives with the physical pain due to a back injury, I can attest to the fact that there can be unforeseen circumstances which make it harder for you to continue your mission. I want you to remember that you are important and that you can do it. Even if it seems like everything is against you, you can reach your goals if you never give up. Review questions. Why do you think people often give up on their goals? You can write in right there. Why do you think people often give up on their goals? Question number 2. Can you remember a time when you gave up on something you wanted to do in life? You can go ahead and write in an answer there, and you can pause at any time. True education. Of course, we all know that education is about learning and usually may involve a teacher, classwork, and grades. I would like you to think outside the box on this one and realize that our education is a constant learning process which happens daily. You can learn from anyone or any situation. Even if that lesson teaches you what not to do, it is still something which is giving you valuable knowledge. Try your best to learn from every situation that presents itself. It may seem odd, but I guarantee that you can learn better lessons from life than you may learn in a class at times. Never think that you know it all, because that is the exact moment when your learning stops. Stay consistent, stay focused, and keep learning. Review questions. Why is it good to never think you know it all? Number 2, can you name a situation in which you learned something from watching someone do it? Time management, page 9. This one is very important because many times we do not understand how essential time management is on the road to fulfilling your dreams. Time stops for no one, and it does not care if you are active in your goals or not, it will still pass. Time can be your best friend, though, if you use it to your advantage. I am not by any means asking you not to have fun. I am simply stating that there is a time to work and a time to play. If you can be proactive about your time by planning and setting goals, and spend just a fraction of your day keeping up with your to-do list, you will see major increase in your productivity. Review questions. Can you name a time when you lost track of time and got late? Why do you think time management is so important? Page 10. Never say I can't. Your words are very powerful, and we need to be mindful of the words which we use. When we say things to ourselves such as I can't, we are programming our minds to believe that we indeed cannot perform the task. Our brains are very powerful, and they can determine just how far we go in life. You need to be sure and use positive words which program your brain to believe that you can do it. Remember that you can never accomplish more than what you tell yourself. Hence, try your best to use statements like, I can. It may sound too simple, but it works. Review questions. Can you think of a time when you talked yourself out of doing something by speaking negatively about it? Have you ever seen someone else talk themselves out of doing something? Page 11, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability of a person to manage and control their emotions while being aware of the emotions of others. It is something which can be grown over time if you practice being aware of your emotional well-being. Have you ever identified someone in a really bad mood based on how they were behaving? This would be a form of emotional intelligence. In this case, you were able to tell that the person's actions were not normal, so you were able to assess their emotions by simply paying attention to their actions. This sounds pretty simple, but there are a lot of emotional triggers which change people's moods. When you can identify other people's emotions, you are halfway there. This is where you can be honest about your own emotions as well. This helps you better understand situations. Emotional intelligence is something which gives you great insight and helps you avoid situations that may create arguments or fights. Review questions. What does emotional intelligence mean to you? Review question 2. Can you think of a time when you had to use your emotional intelligence to understand how someone was feeling? Page 12, finding your lie. When we are infants, we start off with a clean slate emotionally. We have no insecurity, no ego, no low self-esteem. All of these emotions are developed within us over the years as we experience life. Hence, all the emotional triggers, traumas, and false narratives that were created by life can also be reversed by finding the lie in the scenario. Do you have a lie? Do you have a false narrative that exists in your life? I ask this because this is one of the things this book is supposed to address. Remember, the lie is not only referring to an untruth that someone has told you. The lie can also be a false narrative or outlook on life. Lots of times in life, we assume something on our own. We unknowingly create a lie or false narrative. Let me give you an example. You ask a friend to hang out for the weekend and they seem to make up excuses not to hang out with you. This rejection makes it easy to assume that the friend doesn't like you. But let's just say that friend's family was having extreme financial problems and there were no extra funds for your friend to go out with you. Hence, when you assume that the friend didn't like you, you basically created the lie. This is because that wasn't the case at all. The friend had a personal family issue which prevented them from being able to hang out with you. Your assumption or the lie in this scenario may make you treat your friend differently for no reason. Do you get it? Can you see how assumptions can make us believe things that are not true? This happens all the time in different ways. Always remember to never let lies and assumptions cause you to fall victim to those false narratives. Review question, page 13. Can you think of a time when a lie prevented you from doing something? Question 2. How many times have you realized that you had a completely false impression of something or someone? Page 14. Fixing your problem. Now that we have established the fact that there are problems or emotions that live inside of us that influence the decisions we make as well as the mood that we are in, now we can discuss fixing them. Now we would love to own a magic wand we can wave and rid us of all the confidence that we may be lacking. Most people would pay big money if someone had a pill that could just make us forget all of our hurt from the past and remove any shadow of insecurity from our lives. Unfortunately, that pill does not exist, but we can accomplish the same goals of maintaining our emotional strength and fix the problems of our lives. Of course, the problems by which I speak are not external problems, but internal. Problems in our heads are the biggest problems that we deal with from day to day. Steps to fixing your emotions. 1. Whenever you get the feeling that makes you feel sad, miserable, uncomfortable, insecure, etc., notate that feeling and what triggered it. Step 2. Think about the origin of that feeling. When was the trigger created? What happened to you that made you create this trigger? Step 3. Revisit the origin of the emotion and find the lie. The trigger was started by some false information at the time the trigger was created. Step 4. Having found the lie, release yourself from that emotion and declare yourself free. Once you realize that the origin of the trigger was false, you can actually choose to release that negative emotion and grow stronger as a person since you have removed that weakness. Are you getting the idea? Is it sinking in? Are you feeling more in control? Forgive my excitement, but I know that however long it takes anyone to get the concept, that's when you start a new path in life, free of fears and mental roadblocks put in place by our brain with the intention of helping us protect it, with the intention of helping and protecting us from harm. Final review questions. Can you name a time when you felt emotionally triggered? Question 2. When have your emotions stopped you from doing something that you really wanted to do? Question 3. Have you ever witnessed someone else's emotions stop them from achieving a goal? Question 4. What is an automatic negative thought? Question 5. Do you feel like you have a better understanding of how you can follow your dreams while being aware and in control of your emotions? And why? Page 17, vocabulary terms. Ants, automatic negative thoughts. Thoughts that are negative and random in nature in reference to oneself. Emotional triggers. I don't know how that pushed up to that line. Things, memories, objects, or people that spark intense emotions. Intense negative emotions, A goal. The object of a person's ambition or effort. Goal setting. The process of identifying something you want to accomplish, creating a plan to accomplish it. Emotional intelligence, the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions, as well as the emotions of others. A to-do list, a list of tasks that need to be completed, typically organized in order of importance. The most important at the top, down to the least important at the bottom. A false narrative, a story that you perceive as true but has little basis in reality. And behavior patterns, repetitive actions that are done frequently, usually without giving it much thought. Page 18. How do you see yourself now? Draw a picture of the way you see yourself now. And when you do this, I don't expect you to be an artist or anything, but I want you to write how you truly feel. How you feel you see yourself at this point. That could just be a picture of you in school, a picture of you with your friends, a picture of you playing sports, talking, working your job. It could be anything, but it's how you most see yourself right now. Because that's very, very important for us to establish, which is how you perceive yourself. Because when we get to the next page, 19, it says, how do you see yourself in the future? Now, everything about how you see yourself in the future and what you draw there has everything to do with what you did on the last page, which is how you see yourself now. So if you see yourself in the future as successful, as having a home, as being in a relationship, or whatever it is, you see yourself finishing college, you see yourself starting a business, it could be anything. But I want you to see yourself, because the rest of the book is going to be us taking the steps to make what you see yourself, how you see yourself in the future come to fruition. Now, next page, page 20. What changes do you feel are needed to take you from the now picture to the future picture? Examples would be, I need to stop doing something, or an example could be, 2, I need to start doing something. Either way, you could just write in there what you feel like you need to do in order to do better at changing the picture from what you see now to what you want to see in the future. Page 21, setting goals. Write the top 4 things you would like to accomplish in your life. You can go right in the first one and page 1, 2, 3, 4. Just write down the top 4 things that you would like to accomplish or see yourself accomplishing in life. Once we've done that, we go on to page 22, daily tasks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those are all of the days that we have in a week. Now, whatever it is that we're going to do or not going to do is going to happen on those days. I want you to notate that though every day is a step. So you want to write down what are the tasks that you want to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to move yourself closer towards your goal. That could be reading a book for 15 minutes. That could be researching colleges online if that's your goal. That could be learning a new language for 10 to 15 minutes a day. It doesn't matter. It's whatever your goal is. Now we go on to page 23. I want you to place a check mark on every day that you completed. Excuse me. Weekly checklist. I want you to place a check mark on every day that you completed your daily task. This is called accountability, people. This is called accountability, folks. I'm telling you, if you write down, if you're able to put a check mark every day, that means that you did it. So even if it said I wanted to do 10 push-ups on Monday, if you did it, check that off. If you said I wanted to read a book, if you said I wanted to do whatever, now this is your accountability. This weekly checklist, and then if you go on to the next, is a monthly checklist. Now you see we got 12 months, so that gives us one whole year. That's one whole year for us to accomplish our goals. And I want you to write down, so when you finish week 1, 2, 3, and 4, you know that you can do that for each month. After that, I want to see some goals that people are accomplishing. I want to see this book. Now, if this book is all marked up, if you're writing in here and you are being active at writing inside of this book, I guarantee that you are making some progress toward your goals. Emotions are important, and the reason that I started getting into emotions was because I'll give you a story. I spoke at a school years ago, and it was a standing ovation. Everybody was happy. And as soon as I stopped speaking, a fight broke out amongst the students. And it taught me from that point forward that I was teaching motivation. I was teaching everybody to stay motivated, like get up and go, get up and go. But I wasn't teaching them that if you tap into your emotions, you can control them. So whatever makes you want to lash out, lots of crimes are committed because we can't control emotions. We get in fights and arguments and things because we can't control those emotions. So I want to teach people and students, I want to teach students that if you can learn to control your emotions, you can stay driven with your talent, but you can do it without that one trigger. And it happens, folks. Every time I see a young person in jail for, a crime, or they're serving time starting really, really young because somebody said something and a trigger was hit. Somebody said something and there was an unhealed trigger inside of someone, and next thing you know, there was violence. Next thing you know, someone was hurt. Next thing you know, there was a problem. And all I want to do is get you guys to understand that you can control those emotions. You can set those goals. You can, and you are bigger than your circumstances. You can make it. You can push forward. You can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. This is coming from your man, Marcus Parker, aka M Positive, and I hope you enjoy the workbook. I hope you enjoy Find the Lie, Fix the Problem. I hope you enjoy going through the workbook because I enjoyed going through it with you. And I hope that you can live a productive life and accomplish everything that you set out to accomplish. Thank you.